Welcome to Moments with Marianne. I'm so delighted we're spending this time here today. We have a very inspiring show coming right up with special guest Jenny Mannion, and she's here today to share with us her new program, Embracing Bliss, how to invite and sustain bliss in your daily life. Now, after being told that she would most likely end up in a wheelchair due to several chronic health issues, Jenny took matters into her own hands. After transforming her life in a brief amount of time, she has restored and maintained her health for many years. Jenny is a trained intuitive healer and conducts workshops and individual sessions to help people heal themselves. So let's welcome to the show, Jenny Mannion.
Thanks so much for having me, Marianne. I'm so grateful to be here and to get to talk with you again.
Oh my gosh, I always love when we get to have some fun and talk about just healing and your stuff. So this is amazing. So I've got to ask, this Embracing Bliss, what is this?
So this is an interactive online course. So what that means is I do have a ton of videos. I have over 60 videos and 25 exercises that people go through at their own pace. And it's also a Facebook community, and I will be also giving calls once a month to support and do a group meditation. But it's really about living the life that we deserve. And the course helps you to kind of remove what might be getting in the way of that. It's really based in energy. So the free intro is all about energy. And, I'm all about energy, feeling energy in your body.
Oh, yeah.
Really inviting that energy in to change all the different aspects of your life. I mean, that's, how I healed myself. That's how I attracted the man of my dreams to me. That's really how I've created my own life and helped my clients create theirs. And Bliss is an acronym. So I love my acronyms. So, it has to be easy to remember. So B is for breath and breathing. So I take people through exercises to control their breath, to learn about the power of the breath, and to come in alignment with the best breathing pattern that works for them to calm their mind, body, and spirit. L is for love, which is about that unconditional love for ourselves and others. I have a whole separate section on self-love. This is really more about that forgiveness work, that unconditional love and connection to other people, and gaining tools that can help them tap into that unconditional love in a few seconds. Because if we do that, then we're changing our energy and really inviting in that feeling of bliss. I is for intention. So I teach people how to set powerful techniques on learning what they want and setting intentions and taking steps in those 6 different areas of their life. S is for soul and spirit. So having people tap into that trueness of themselves, that part that's connected to everything, that unlimited part of themselves. And I give really cool tools and fun tools. Have to be having fun during this. It's about bliss that helps them connect with that. And the last S is about self-worth. And it's also broken down to another acronym, the self-TLC, because it's really about self-talk, which is the mind, self-love, which is the spirit, and self-care, which is the body, which really enables us to feel that self-worth. And we need to feel that self-worth to invite in that feeling of bliss and to invite in a life that we might have felt like we never deserved. And then that last section's all about really helping people have those tools to consistently move forward with this, even as life happens and those challenges come in.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like such a powerful, workshop to be doing. And it's really being part of a community as well.
Yeah, I really feel that's important because whenever I teach, Marianne, I love to teach in circles because, I've been doing this work for myself. I've seen a lot of, things that have helped me, but it's really about everyone relating to other people and saying, you know what, I felt that too. Or, maybe I hone this little piece of this exercise and this helped me connect deeper. I really want that input. I want that community. And I want that support system because we all can, self-sabotage a little bit, fall off the path, think things are harder, feel like we're the only one that's ever felt this way. And it's really important to have that community so we can cheer each other on, so we can witness the times when people are having challenges and help them get through that. And we can also witness those times where they are having those successes and really cheer them along too and give them that encouragement.
That's so important. So, who would be the right people that would be looking to, be part of embracing bliss?
I think the world can use more bliss right now. So I think
Amen, sister.
almost anyone would benefit. But I think people that need tools, that you are able to know that if they put in a little work, life can shift pretty quickly. It really is, we can't just kind of wish our way into this. It really is doing the work, assessing our life as it is now. What's working, what's not working? What can we shine love and light on? What needs to be healed so that we can move forward into a new, healthier pattern? And also, people that are maybe looking for their soul tribe, maybe, in their current environment, they really don't have people into this kind of stuff and they can't have that conversation or they don't feel supported. So here you're going to have that community and you're going to have people rooting for you and helping you along the way. And I feel so blessed to be seeing people that, from different parts, different clients from all over the world and new people coming in and really helping each other. So people that want the community, people that know that life can be easier, but maybe just don't really know how to bring that in on a consistent basis. And people that are willing to put in a little work. I try to make the exercises as easy as possible. I don't want to make this complicated. We meet enough self-sabotage even when it's easy. So my lessons are all broken down. Some are 2 minutes. The longest one is 17 minutes. It's really a self-guided journey, but you have that help along the way.
So, I know you pretty well. I mean, we've been friends for a while. You've got some amazing books out there. But for our listeners that are new to you, why don't you share why you're uniquely qualified to be teaching this course?
Sure. Well, I kind of have lived this. I use these methods and to change my own life. First, it started with my health. I was sick for 7 years, diagnosed with a bunch of chronic illnesses, in chronic pain for 7 years, and wound up healing myself in 3 weeks. And that was the jump start to my spiritual path and knowing, hey, wait, my mind must be more powerful than I ever thought it was. And I had majored in psychology, so I did know that, and I always had an interest in that. But it's very interesting when you get diagnosed with a dis-ease, you kind of give up with the power a little bit and you default to doctors and the experts, quote unquote. And I really had lost myself in that. I really had become a victim of my own mind and my own limitations. So in healing that, I just became so excited about learning more. And that's really been the last 13 years has been help. Oh, another class I can take. Awesome. Another way I can work on myself. Awesome. And gathering these tools and through learning over 10 different modalities of energy work and coming up with my own, through learning Akashic work and seeing what it takes to clear blocks and restrictions, and to creating this course really feels like kind of my signature course of all the things that I have been teaching over the years and learned even since writing my book that was published by Llewellyn a couple years ago. Just the things that I've learned that have helped. I've used these methods to attract the love of my life. We've been together over 5 years and I'm more and more in love every day, to attract clients that I feel totally aligned with, to help people heal from late stage cancer and depression and anxiety, and to be active in my community and really see that those connections form. I've really used these methods to kind of create my whole life. So that's what I really want to help other people do, know that they can create healthy relationships. I've used this to heal, a relationship that I have with my father that I didn't know if that could be healed. Like I've really used these methods to create the life that I want. And I feel like I am able to teach this because I'm in my integrity and I do walk the talk and I hold that as the most important value in myself.
Well, you definitely do. You're one of the people out there that really, I mean, you've been there, you've done it, you've got the badge, the t-shirt, the bumper sticker, all of it. so so it's nice that, to see that how you're really making a positive impact in the lives of so many other people. So what are some of the things? I know you went through what the Embracing Bliss, workshop will do. What are some of the things that people Either will they get rid of limiting beliefs, or are they going to find themselves a little happier? What are some things they can expect?
They will be doing all of that and more. They will be learning techniques to bring themselves back to the current moment, present moment, to really relieve that stress, to know that, life happens. We controlling everything, is kind of outside our realm of possibility, everything that's happening to everyone else around us. So really to be able to, when challenges happen, to be able to still know they're okay. They're going to be able to wake up feeling happier. They're going to have a lot of tools to go to that just make them connect with that unconditional love. It's been really interesting in the course to see some people struggle a little bit with contacting that unconditional love and to get into that and to watch the healing that occurs when you do start to tap into that and know that we are deserving of that. We are, worthy of that. And when we do have that unconditional love, and when we do learn, I have an exercise in transmuting fear to love. When we can do those things, we find this inner power and that this inner self-worth. And we know that we can create the life that we deserve. And we start removing some of those limitations of what that looks like. We can have very limiting beliefs from where we grew up, or what our parents might have told us we would amount to, or a teacher, so really they're going to live a happier life. They're going to have a community. They're going to know about setting intentions and how to change those intentions, let flow with them instead of, sometimes people set resolutions and they get really angry with themselves if they haven't done this, and they beat themselves up more. So really develop this connection with soul, this connection to guidance, where to go to when maybe they are feeling a little lost, and this real deep connection to self-worth and knowing that they do deserve this life that is fun, and joyful, and this community that is supporting them as well.
Now you touch on something that I'd like to talk about, and that's the self-worth piece. There are so many people that find themselves in that I'm not worthy category in something. It could be with money, it could be, just with life in general. Is that one of the number one things that you see people come to you for?
Yes. Underlying, it could present as a disease, it could present as depression or anxiety, but yes, self-worth is, I feel, the most important piece in this. Love is really important too, but that self-love, if you don't feel worthy, you're going to keep sabotaging yourself. You're going to keep creating relationships that are not aligned with that highest self-worth. If you feel like maybe you did something in the past and you deserve to be punished for it, you're going to attract people into your life that are punishing. So really owning that self-worth, that self-love, changing the self-talk, really listening to it and learning ways to change it, to be your biggest cheerleader instead of your biggest critic, to love yourself as you would your pets and your friends and your loved ones, to start speaking to yourself in that way so that you start living in that way. And when you feel that self-worth, you truly are inviting in goodness into your life. And it is really amazing to see when people start getting into that power, what things fall away from them and what things they start attracting into their life.
So you talk about breath and that being important. Why is that?
Breath is important because it affects us on every single level. It affects us mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And a lot of times we don't even know if we're breathing, how we're breathing. And it is a really easy way to bring ourselves back to the present moment. I give a couple of different breathing exercises in the class. One is given to Navy SEALs, so it is really to calm them down when they are feeling anxiety. And I'm like, all right, if it works for Navy SEALs under pressure, probably will work for me and other people too. So just those different counts of breath and tuning in and learning what counts of breath can you go to that will really bring in that deep sense of relaxation, because everyone has that time, right before bed, maybe you're anxious, maybe it's when you're commuting to work, maybe it's, before a difficult situation. But if we have these tools and know what breathing exercises can bring us that calm and relief, it's something we can tap into in like less than a minute. So it's pretty powerful.
That is really powerful. A lot of times people think that when you do breath work, that it has to take a little while to do.
It really does not. It really does not, especially again when you're practicing a couple different ways and really tuning in and saying what works for me. What brings me to that sense of peace? And it's a muscle memory. When you practice it a couple times and then you go back to it, your body is going to start relaxing as soon as you start tuning into it, because it's going to remember, oh, right, this brings me peace. This is joyful. So it really is. And it doesn't really take that much practice. It's just finding that one that resonates with you, doing it a couple times, and you'll be surprised how easily you can slip back into that pattern of deep relaxation.
So, will this workshop also help people who need healing? Is it designed for that?
Absolutely. A lot of these things, it's all about energy. So a lot of these challenges that people face morph into some kind of physical or mental dis-ease because our energy isn't flowing correctly. There is, if we're out of flow, we know how we're feeling. If we're out of flow, we're in flow. It's the same thing with our bodies, and our bodies might have been giving us these gentle little nudges here and there. But if we're not in communication with our body and we just recognize it as a symptom and we go to fix it, we go to maybe Tylenol or we'll go to medication, but we're not really looking at the underlying root of what is spiritually and emotionally contributing to it. And the physical part too, in the self-care part, I do address that, getting better physical habits for yourself as well. If you're not sleeping, pretty hard to live a nice, healthy, balanced life. So this course definitely can help to transmute physical disease as well.
Okay, wait. You just said that. So it'll transmute physical disease? How is that?
Because with some of these techniques, you're changing your energy. I mean, this is how I changed my physical health. I tuned into my energy. I tuned into my self-talk. I changed my self-talk. I tuned into unconditional love. I learned how to embrace that and feel that in my body. And love is healing. I learned how to come into that self-worth, to set those intentions, to know that I'm worthy of that. I mean, all of these things shift your body. They go deep within your cells. Our body's always recreating cells. So we're 99.99% new every 11 months. So if we are putting our energy and intention into being the highest version of ourselves, and we are working on ourselves spiritually, emotionally, mentally, really the physical, it just makes sense that it transmutes as well. I've had people read my book and heal of illnesses. One actually book reviewer said, her eyes were kind of written off, and within reading my book, she regained like 99.9% of her eyesight back to normal. And this takes things a little deeper because you have me speaking through the exercises. You have the exercises that you go back to, and you also have the community around you that's cheering you on, as well as the Q&As with me, so that anytime you do face a challenge, I am going to be there for you. I really want to be there for people, because healing isn't always pretty. We do, stuff comes up, and we do need that love around us to know that we can get through it and we can heal it. And I just had a recent client that I worked with that she had suffered with cancer for 12 years. And within 2 months of working with me, it was gone. And that was using a lot of these techniques. And I do feel that when we change our vibration energetically, we resonate with health. We resonate with financial abundance. We resonate with attracting those relationships to us that are supportive. And it just transmutes every single area of our life.
So, who is this workshop designed for? Is it for everybody or just a few people?
It's for the people that are willing to do some work. If you're willing to do a little work on yourself, I'm not waving a magic wand and saying you are healed. I really don't believe that's an option. I have had energy sessions where people heal, but I always do feel like it's more important to do that work, because if you're not healing some of the underlying issues, disease can come back in a different way, or maybe present in the same way, or maybe a different area of your life. But anyone that's willing to do a little work on themselves, that wants change, that knows life has to be able to be easier. Some part of them saying, come on, it can't be this hard. It's got to be easier. I just need the tools. I just need the support. I really am ready, for this next step, for my life to be more in flow, for me to feel more empowered and more in control of my own life.
Gosh, that's so important. And there's so many people that are looking for that right now, because it does feel like we're just in this time of chaos and uncontrol. And to be able to just be in control of yourself, gosh, how peaceful that would be.
And that's where we can help people from, Marianne. I mean, if we are watching news, God forbid, and feeling disempowered, we're not helping anyone from that state. We're not helping ourselves. We're not helping our family. We're not helping the community around us or any cause that we care about. Whereas if we feel empowered, then we have the energy to put out there. We have the energy to get involved in a cause that we care about. We have the energy to take care of our kids from that loving space and not a feeling of resentment. We have that energy to conquer the things that we want to do in our life, as well as to do it from a place of love instead of a place of fear.
In the information for this workshop, you talk about it coming from, allowing the person to awaken and be a more powerful way of being yourself, and we've covered so much, and I know we've covered a lot that actually attributes to that. What else do you think people will actually take away from this?
I think they're going to take away that feeling that life isn't happening to them, that they are creating the life around them, that, it might have been hard up until this point, but this gentleness for themselves, them knowing that, they are on this path, they have been doing this work, and they do deserve that ease and flow that can come with life, this sense of empowerment. And it does trickle, there is a trickle effect. If you're feeling like this, guess what? The people around you are going to feel some of that. They're going to be like, hey, I want to have what she's having, they're going to feel that. And you're going to be attracting different relationships to you. You're going to be attracting your soul tribe to you. You're going to be living from that most empowered part of yourself. And that really is that part that embraces that bliss, that feels confident to live in that joy, and that really won't accept anything else. And that's really important too, like that not settling. You're not going to settle anymore. You're going to know that you deserve the best life possible, and you're going to be aligned with attracting that to you.
Now, does this course bring any part of, because we've talked about your book, A Short Path to Change, 30 Ways to Transform Your Life. Does it have some information from that as well in this course?
There are little bits of it from there. My exercise for forgiveness is Ho'oponopono, which is from the book. But again, I go deeper. Anything that's in my book is, every chapter is probably 2 to 5 pages, and there's a little exercise that you do yourself. But in here, I go deeper. There is that real connection. You're watching me on the screen. I'm doing the exercises with you. You can do the exercises repeatedly. So there are little bits in here from the book, but it's everything that has made its way from the book in here is deeper. And then I added a whole lot of the things that I've learned since writing the book.
So when we talk about living in and embracing bliss and being in that blissful moment, what will people feel like when they're done with the course?
Relieved. I think a sense of relief, a sense of pride that they were able to do this work for themselves and that life looks a lot better for it. A sense of community, because they will have the people in the Embracing Bliss Facebook community as well as me, cheering them on along the way. And this sense of waking up and feeling good of knowing that life's okay and feeling safe. And as you mentioned, it's been a little thick lately, the energy, so really being able to kind of see through that and know that they're okay and the people around them are going to be okay. And this sense of peace and bliss and flow that comes with doing all of this work and being on the other side of it, and knowing that we truly do deserve it and deserve to walk that on a consistent basis. It's not something fleeting. A lot of people think of bliss as this fleeting moment, but this is something that you are entitled to. You're walking on this planet and you're entitled to a whole lot of bliss. Every day you're entitled to these blissful moments, and to know that even when you go out of these blissful moments, you're going to be returning to them.
Well, that is, I think it's really encouraging that people have a course like this, Embracing Bliss, where they can go ahead, take it, and then when things get tough, because things are really tough right now, that they're able to go ahead and work through them in a way that works for them.
Absolutely. And this is a lifelong course. So, say they make it through and they're doing really good, but 6 months down the line, something happens, you can come back. I am encouraging that. I'm encouraging people to stay, check in, encourage the other people that are starting, and just know that you always have these tools available to you.
It's interesting, like your book, I can assume that the course is this way as well. But a lot of times I know from your book, when you read it again, you get these different things that pop up. Is it the same way with the course?
Absolutely. We're so layered, and we tend to go to maybe the easier things, quote unquote, the easier things to heal first, but we're in a different place after we've done some healing work and have made some changes in our life. So when we read something 6 months later, a year later, or do an exercise, we are going to connect in a different way. And it's just going to bring us all of these healings are just bringing us closer and closer to living from our soul, which is really what it's all about. Living from that empowered, limitless space so that we can create heaven on earth as we were meant to do.
So, what other things that we haven't covered will people take away from Embracing Bliss?
They're going to take away that life is unfolding, and that feeling of not pushing it, but allowing it, and that feeling safe for them. As humans, we do want to control a lot. We feel very adamant that we know the way, we know what's best for us in this way, but sometimes things shift. And I love that in the intention part, I really do work with people on knowing when things are flowing and knowing when we are trying to push things. Because when we try to push things, the universe will show us, nope, that's not the right way, and sometimes we just get so stubborn that we push and we push and we push, and we find ourselves in a worse and worse situation. So really this feeling of living life in this place of knowing how to tap into yourself, know when things are flowing, know when they're not, know when we can self-adjust, learning to be easier on ourselves and not say, oh, that's not working, I failed. But, oh, that's not working, let me try something else. Or, oh, that's not working, let me try to work on another intention that I've set in another area of my life and give that some space to breathe. So really this confidence of moving forward in your life is going to get easier and easier and easier. Those times where maybe you feel distraught or something happens to you and you feel like you can't get out of your own way, like those are going to be fewer and farther between, and they're going to be much, much shorter. I'd fall into those. Well, I was in one for like 7 years when I was sick, but I'd fall into those for months or weeks or days. And now, like, if something happens, I'm able to move through the emotions of it, process it, move through it in, usually less than an hour, So really learning that they have the skills and the confidence to move through life in a much easier and more in flow way.
That's so important. Well, Jenny, where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about Embracing Bliss?
My website's the best place. So that's jennymannion.com, JENNYMANNION.com. And I offer free gifts there. And as I mentioned, Embracing Bliss is featured right on the top of my webpage. If you go there, you can take the first 2 lessons for free too. tap into energy. I teach people how to tap into energy, lead them through an energy exercise, and really give them a feel for the flow of the class.
Well, Jenny, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you so much, Marianne. It's always such a pleasure to speak with you and your listeners. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jenny. As always, it's such an honor to spend this time with you. You're an inspiration to so many people. And again, for our listeners that would like to connect with Jenny, you can at her website, jennymannion.com, for more information. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. You're listening to Moments with Marianne. And remember, make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Moments with Marianne airs every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.